Madam District Attorney Sandra Doorley. My name is Chris Chichester. I live at 26 Sanders Farm Drive in Penfield, and everything I'm about to detail, I have explained to you repeatedly. Because you have signed for my documents. Registered mail, return receipt. D. Harrington. That one's not dated. 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 But they're all in 2019, those. Maya Mastro Donato, June 12th, 2019. Maya Mastro Donato, July 11th, 2019. So, I go to the now defunct PW Fitness in Penfield. I'm at the back of the gym. I'm doing 3 sets of 10. On the bench press, up walks to me is Jermaine Benman. He motions with his hand from left to right for me to get off the machine. I never allow the gym psychopath to tell me what to do with the gym. And I lean back to continue the exercise. Benman walks up to me. He stands over to me. As I'm leaning up, he punches down like this. My head snaps back. My hand prevents me from landing on the floor. And a witness calls the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and this is an assault. And I now know I can take a punch like Muhammad Ali against George Foreman in Kinshasa, Zaire, which is what I tell my friends and family members about this disgusting incident. And I go outside. After Deputy Andrew Reale arrives from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, nauseating star chamber of Todd Baxter. So I'm standing outside with Andrew Reale and his violent thug, Jermaine Benman. And Reale tells me to wait in the backseat of his vehicle. Now I sit in the backseat of his vehicle, and Reale walks around to the front of the vehicle, about 20 feet away. And he's talking to Benman because he's coaching Benman what to say to me. And then Reale walks Benman over to the side of the vehicle, and Benman says, quote, "I want to press charges against you," end quote. And that, Madam District Attorney Sandra Doorley, is how this vile, despicable, disgusting concoction of harassment second happens to me by this criminal employee, Andrew Reale, that Todd Baxter has not fired. And he's been told about this for a year. So, I've never harassed anybody in my life. Every member of my family will confirm that, but your family's supposed to love you and they'll defend you no matter what. But every friend will confirm that I've never harassed anybody. Every acquaintance will confirm that I've never harassed anybody. Every coworker will confirm that I've never harassed anybody. Every girlfriend will confirm I've never harassed anybody, including beautiful, perfect Laura, who I lived with here at 26 Sanders Farm Drive in Penfield. And I have known beautiful, perfect Laura for 30 years. Someone knows you for 30 years. They know your character. So, I walked home with that ticket on my hand on Penfield Road, and I'm looking at it. I have to prevent this feeling of nauseation as I'm looking at it. So, there is a strip of land next to my house. It's right here. You can see it. And my house is right over here, and that's where I live with beautiful, perfect Laura. And we're here, and there's no grass cutting going along the side of our house right here. And you can see that. How does anybody own that land? How does anybody own that land? Oh, here we have reverse angle, Madam District Attorney. Oh, excuse me, Madam District Attorney. Do you have to go on late night television murder porn and talk about Craig Rideout? I just have to prepare yourself for another appearance on late night television murder porn? Because he's still dead and Laura Rideout is still in prison. So what the hell are you doing on late night television murder porn talking about murder that already happened? Why don't you do your job, Madam District Attorney? So anyway, there it is. It has no ownership, that land. You can see right here, Madam District Attorney. It's, I don't know, who the hell owns that land? Huh? I don't know. I do know. Just saying, I don't know rhetorically. And there's the parking lot. I'm going to get to the surveillance device, which is right up there. So, here comes the toothless grass cutter. They show up whenever the hell they want from Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care. When Dr. Gloria Nichols was in the building, that these parasites, Nairaj and Layla Kumar Shah are in. There's no grass cutting going on because Dr. Gloria Nichols knows she doesn't own that land. So Todd Baxter's going to set me up. This is what he's doing. His Panorama Trail office with his whack jobs. So here he comes, the toothless grass cutter, by my house, walnut grass no one owns. And I go outside. I'm outside for 30 seconds. They don't own that land and come back in my house. That's all I did. And I'm on video. Because Todd Baxter bought, wait for it, Todd baby, surveillance device is right there. You see it right there? That's your surveillance device. Right there. Right there's your surveillance device. All right? Camera. All right? You got that? Now, when Mike Pompeo uses the term surveillance device, Lindsey Barron from the Office of Crazy Town doesn't descend on Langley. You got that, Todd baby? Because a surveillance device is a surveillance device, and I was on it, and it has an assigned number, and you know it does, and you'll lie about that. So, anyway, here he comes by the house. They're going to set me up. And Todd Baxter's 1984. He knows I'm going to come out of my house, and I do it again. Should not be on land you don't own. Here he comes. Go outside. They don't own that land. He stops the guy in his tractor. He looks at Steve Desmond and Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care. A civilian. A civilian is told by Sheriff Todd Baxter's people, by his fanatics, he's going to come out of his house, as Chris Chichester, and when he does, you call us, and we're going to descend on him. So, I go outside. They don't own that land. I'm on video. Come back inside my house. And then less than an hour later, I see Deputy Fascist Stooge Patty Marsh. She runs into my backyard. She crash lands on her face. This is pounding on my door. I go to answer it, and there are 5 other fascist stooges. My neighbor Adam's outside. My neighbor across the street is watching this. And the first language I ever hear from a deputy fascist stooge when they're not at the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters eating donuts is a lie. We just want to talk to you outside. So I hesitate and I go outside. Because if I would have closed the door, then they would have just entered my house the old-fashioned way to Monroe County Sheriff's Office by breaking my door down. So I go outside. I'm on my front lawn, and these 6 fanatics surround me, I go to handcuffs. And they put me in the backseat of the vehicle. They drove me to the jail, put me in the jail cell, handcuffed me inside the jail. I'm in there for 3 hours. I urinated on myself twice. So, I have 2 concoctions here. Madam District Attorney. Got harassment second. I've never harassed anybody. Criminal contempt, where I'm in contempt of Todd Baxter. So, it's a lie. I've never committed a crime. And everybody who knows me knows that to be a fact. So, I have to go to Penfield Town Court with John Lomenzo, who's freeing sexual predator Daniel Blouse in Penfield. And when I go to the nauseating Star Chamber of Penfield Town Court, I stand at the podium in front of John Lomenzo. I look over at, who do you think I'm looking over at, Madam District Attorney? I'm looking over to my left like this. I'm looking right at her. Your employee. Your taxpayer-supported public employee. And I'm waiting for her argument because I really want to know what she has to say. Since I'm not guilty of any crime. I'm looking at her. I'm standing in front of John Lomenzo. I'm looking at your employee. And you know what she says? I'm going to tell you what she says. I'm going to quote the transcript of what she says. I have the transcript right here in front of me of what she says, Madam District Attorney. This is what your prosecutor says in the nauseating Star Chamber of Penfield Town Court. Did you understand the transcript? That's the official transcript. Got it right here. You see that? There it is. See that? I'll read the transcript again for you, okay? Did you understand it a second time? Do I need to call an E.B. White, William Strong for you, Madam District Attorney? Your prosecutor didn't say a word. Not a sound, not a syllable, nothing. Because she has nothing, because I'm not guilty of any crime. And what happens? The proceeding ends in less than 5 minutes. I go in the back, and who's waiting for me is Andrew Allen. Put your hands behind your back and on goes to handcuffs. He knows I'm not guilty of any crime. So I'm taken to Monroe County Jail, and I'm there with the murderers and the rapists and the arsonists, criminal degenerates. And I'm asking constantly, what's my sentence? How long am I going to be here? Nobody's able to tell me. I'm sentenced to jail, and I don't even know how long I'm going to be there. I don't know what my sentence is. Well, you've been told this repeatedly. And what I hear from you is nothing. So, what you're going to receive from me is a document. It's a very simple document. It's called a Freedom of Information Law document here. Now, I'm going to point to the operative word, Madam District Attorney. All right, it's right here. LAW. You see that? Freedom of Information Law. I know you were told there would be no spelling, Madam District Attorney, but it's LAW, okay? Now, I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy, file, and records. The public employee payroll for the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. That's very simple to understand, isn't it? Isn't it, Sandra, sweetheart? You can understand that language, can't you? I'm going to read that again. So I want to emphasize these 11 words, because it's only 11 words. All right? I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy, file, and records. The public employee payroll for Monroe County District Office, Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Excuse me. So, you got that, Madam District Attorney? All right. Now, got another foil here. I'm going to point to the operative word here in this foil. Right there. Right there. Law. L-A-W. You got that? See that? Law. Now, you don't have to be William Rehnquist to understand what law means in a foil. Do you understand me, Madam District Attorney? Am I going too fast for you? So, I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. The documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester before John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Town Court. What is the name of the female prosecutor? That's all I want to know is her name. There it is right there. What is her name? You know why I want to know this, Madam District Attorney? Because this is a prosecutor who doesn't prosecute. So if we have a prosecutor who doesn't prosecute, doesn't say a word, not a sound, not a syllable in Penfield Town Court, how do I go to jail? How am I delivered to Todd Baxter's Inferno? How does that happen, Madam District Attorney? How does that happen? Tell me. So, now, excuse me, Madam District Attorney. I just want to tell you about my recent experience with Sheriff Todd Baxter's whack jobs. So I go to Monroe Community College and I run this 5K, and after the race, here they are right here in the gym at MCC. I mean, they're everywhere, these guys. You can see this guy here. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 of them here. This guy here, look at that gut there on him. He's got that gut hanging out. He's about 20 pounds overweight. What's about the average, for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? So I took my phone out and I took a picture of these guys, And then you know where they're going after this, Madam District Attorney? They're going to their weapons headquarters at 2157 Penfield Road. And you know what they're going to do, especially this guy here with his gut hanging out? This guy, he's going to buy these mini frosted donuts right here. This guy there, right there. This is the official food of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office because they're all carrying around extra weight, these whack jobs. So, got that, Todd? You're eating too many donuts too, Todd. So, anyway, I'm going to show you the accusatory instrument. I didn't even know that such a thing as an accusatory instrument exists. That the defendant, that's me. On the above date and location, approximately 1440 hours, did not only enter or remain unlawfully enter upon the premises of 2041 Penfield Road, Penfield, New York, by walking through the parking lot after being told by certified mail by the police that he's not allowed on the property. 20 people a day walk through that parking lot. I've walked through that parking lot 4,000 times with Dr. Gloria Nichols, who's my dentist. So I'm now the defendant. For walking through a parking lot, 20 people a day walk through. And after the fireworks at Harris Whalen Park, 200 people walked through that parking lot after the fireworks. And that was only after the fireworks because there was a parade at Penfield High School that day, and people were walking through the parking lot all day long. So, Sheriff Stooge Baxter, did you get a call from your official whack jobs, named Roger, Layla, Kumar, Shaba, any of these people walking through the parking lot? Huh? Did Nayraj and Layla Kumar go berserk about any of them? Huh? Now, let me see here. I'm going to be holding up your small needle of whack job, Todd, because as I hold your small needle of whack job, I got to show you your recent foil. Because I've sent you now, as I hold your small needle of whack job, I'm going to show you the most important foil that I recently sent you and mailed to you that you're going to refuse to comply with because the law is a joke. All right, now I'm going to put your small needle of whack job down. All right? Okay, all right. Your big needle of whack job, that's on an aircraft carrier, and that's coming to my house right now. Okay? All right now, Todd, baby. All right, here we have. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. The public employee payroll for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office of Monroe County Jail. And you can see right there that the key word, Todd, baby, is law, L-A-W. You got that, Todd? Foil, payroll. Send your payroll to my house. You're a public employee who exists with taxpayer dollars. Without the taxpayers of New York, you have the same power to bridge my civil and constitutional rights as a teenager at your Wegmans Food Market's headquarters. You got that, Sheriff Stooge Baxter? All right, now I also want the cost, the taxpayers. Oh, I got to show you the key word here, Todd. It's law. All right, here we go. It's law. All right, L-A-W. You don't have to be Powder Stewart to understand that key word in the foil is law there. You got it, law? I know you don't know who Powder Stewart is, and neither do you 170 whack jobs. So, quote, I hereby apply to inspect and obtain a copy of the following records. The cost of taxpayers for photography session approved by Monroe County Sheriff Todd K. Baxter to photograph 10 public employees underwater in a pool. What the hell are you doing taking pictures of your whack jobs underwater in a pool? There they are right there. What is going on here? I mean, here they are here. What are you doing? What are you doing with your public employees? How much did this cost? This was on your Facebook page. You see them? There they are right there. You see that? Total incompetence, buffoonery, corruption. I love it. So, all right, here we go. Here the key word is law. Here, Sheriff Stooge Baxter, law. The cost for a trip to Atlanta, Georgia for hotel and boarding for Monroe County Sheriff employee Ryan Fisher to attend the Super Bowl in Atlanta with his canine dog Lola on February 3rd, 2019. Why is your public employee Ryan Fisher at the Super Bowl in Atlanta with his dog? But that is astounding that you sent him there because he was in uniform in front of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There he is. And I'm staring at this on your Facebook page. And it's just confirmation again of your buffoonery, incompetence, corruption. I mean, you spend the taxpayer dollars with zero regard for the fact that it's not your money, baby. So, all right now. And when I use the phrase surveillance device, Mike Pompeo also uses the phrase surveillance device. And just like me, when Director Pompeo talks about a surveillance device, he's talking about, wait for a surveillance device, because you bought one. So, quote, let me show you the key word here, Todd, baby, all right? Here we go. You have to be Thurgood Marshall to understand this here law, L-A-W law. You got that, Todd, baby? I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records. The cost of the surveillance device purchase with taxpayer dollars by Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter and fixed to a building in 2025 Penfield Road to monitor if Christopher Chichester, 26 Anderson Farm Drive, walks through the parking lot next to the building. Surveillance device, all right? And here it is right here. See that right there? There it is. That's it right there. You got that? There's the camera that I was on. It has an assigned number. It's a public record. I've demanded it 50 times. And I'm not committing any crime. I don't even know if this video exists anymore. And you're supposed to preserve public records. So you're refusing to send me this video. And I don't know where it is. Where is it? Did you destroy it? Oh, I hope you say it doesn't exist anymore. No, it's a public record. Send me this public record. You got that? So, now, this is the one I really want. Because this is going to enable me to talk to people. I'm going to show you here the key word here, freedom of information law. Law, you got that? Right there. The key word. You don't have to be John Roberts to understand law. You got that law. All right? I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of the following records: the names and charges of every inmate in Monroe County Jail from January 2018 to December 31, 2018. It's as simple as that. The name, the charge, the calendar year 2018, send me the information. This is not the Holiday Inn, your jail. It's a public facility. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, taxpayers. Everything they do in there, taxpayers. Send it to me. I want to know who's there and the charges. And you will refuse, Todd, the fascist stooge. So, all right. Now, this one here, I love this one. This is the double dipper foil, the special foil, the Michael Radler foil. I've been asking this incompetent hack for the payroll for over a year, 18 times. 18 times you refused to respond. Do you have an email, Michael? Because you, Michael, were a Monroe County Sheriff's employee for 20 plus years, writing speeding tickets. And then you retired. You were done. You were out. You're sitting in your Archie Bunker chair. And then you were rehired as a special assistant to Sheriff Baxter. So you have a little desk that you're sitting there, like a little elementary school desk, and right next to is Jimmy the intern, and you're sitting next to Jimmy the intern, and Sheriff Baxter snaps his fingers like that. He wants his coffee, and you go running down the hall to go get his coffee. Oh, would you like it black? Would you like cream and sugar? Sheriff Baxter, I'll get you anything you want. Sheriff Baxter, if he needs his shoes shine, you take out a cloth, you spit shine his shoes and make sure that they're like mirrors so Sheriff Baxter can see himself in his shoes. Is that what you do? Sheriff Baxter, he needs his dry cleaning picked up. And you go running the day, you make sure that Sheriff Baxter's shirts are nice and clean and pressed and starched so he can obstruct justice. Is that what you do there? Huh? Michael Radler. So we got the Michael Radler foil. It's a foil especially for you, MR, all right? The Michael Radler, the double dipper, baby. You got that? I hereby apply to inspect, obtain, and copy the following records. The cost of taxpayers in Monroe County and the state of New York. If Michael Radler of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office simultaneously collecting his triumph paycheck and a paycheck from his present employment as an assistant to Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter. An assistant. Wow. That is really a lofty title. I have to tell you, Michael, at some jobs, people like to inflate their titles. So the job is appearing to be more important than it really is, but you're just comfortable being an assistant sitting right there next to Jimmy intern. What I want to know also, Michael, is are you going into work? Do you show up? I'd like to know if this is a no-show job, baby. Do you go into work? Or are you sitting there in your Archie Bunker chair and the checks are just coming in, you double dipper checks? You got one check here, you one check here in your head, you double dipper checks? I got to show you double dipper check here. All right, this is your check here, right here from the Bank of Todd K. Baxter. All right, Bank of Todd K. Baxter, 130 South Plymouth Avenue, Rochester, Michael Radler. That's you. All right, double dipper. Here's the date. It's signed by Todd K. Baxter here. And sometimes, Michael, as I've instructed you previously now, the person who writes a check writes a memo to remind themselves why they wrote that check. And it says right here, Todd K. Baxter, after he signed it, he wrote for your memo, corruption and fraud. All right, so that's your first check being a double dipper, Michael. And here's the second check here. All right, here's again, Sheriff Todd K. Baxter, 130 South Plymouth Avenue, Rochester, New York. Michael Radler, double dipper. That's you, Michael Radler. You got 2 paychecks. All right, double dipper here, Todd Baxter, corruption and fraud. Do you need any further explanation as to why you got 2 paychecks? Because you know you got 2 paychecks. All right? That's what I want to know. So, now, I also want to know from you, Sandra, sweetheart, you got documentation for my case, so I'm going to have to demand it. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy, because I want to know the name of the prosecutor. I hereby apply to inspect, obtain a copy of following records of documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester before John P. Lomenzo Jr. in Penfield Town Court. What is the name of my female prosecutor? That's all I want to know. Because my female prosecutor, she's got a brilliant prosecutorial strategy. She stands there in this nauseating star chamber, Penfield Town Court, and she says not a word. She's just standing there. She's not saying anything at all. So, Sandra, I'm demanding the public employee payroll for Sheriff Stooge Baxter, and he's refusing to open his mail. So I'm going to send this to him again, certified mail. And if he refuses, Sandra, And he will. So can I send it to you, and then you can walk it over to him, because I want his public employee payroll, because he's a public employee. So anyway, all right. So anyway, Sheriff Baxter, these parasites, Neeraj and Layla Kumar Shah, I'm not calling you about anybody else walking through the Holy Roman Todd K. Baxter parking lot. This is, there's 17.9 million people in New York State, and Neeraj and Layla Kumar aren't calling you about anybody. People walk through the parking lot all day long. Not one phone call. But if I walk through the parking lot, you'll descend on maybe 6 fanatics and arrest me. So where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of the law? And there it is. Surveillance device was, I'm going to point to it again because I love pointing this out. It was right up there. And you're telling Elliot Roth of this Consumer Insights business that I'm going to be arrested. Because when I was walking through the parking lot, he says to me, you're going to be arrested. And I have no idea what he's talking about. Because when you install that device, he knows. So then Steve Desmond, when I come out of my house to confront the toothless tractor rider, doing what? Cutting grass nobody owns, baby. Steve Desmond calls Sheriff Baxter's office, and here they are here. So you're telling a civilian I'm going to be arrested. You're using a civilian to get someone to my house. You figured out what I'm doing to you? Have you figured it out, Sheriff Baxter? So... And Michael Radler, we got the return to sender. How come you're afraid to open your mail? So we got Sheriff Baxter's afraid to open his mail. Michael Radler, the double dipper, he's afraid to open his mail. And Michael, I've seen your picture, and yeah, you eat too many of these babies at your Wegmans Food Market's headquarters there, because you always got two of your badge-wearing, gun-carrying, bonafide jokes alongside the building, 2157 Pembroke Road, doing nothing. So Michael, lay off these babies. And also tell these guys in his picture at the MCC gym after the 5K, they're eating too many donuts too. So lay off those donuts at the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters. So Sheriff Baxter refuses to open his mail. Michael Radler refuses to open his mail. And then I'm demanding ownership of this land. Why are you cutting grass at 7 a.m. on a Sunday if you don't own that? You just set me up because you know I'm going to come out of my house. Layla Kumar Shah. I sent him. Where's the documentation that says you own that land? Refused. Layla Kumar. Refused. Layla Kumar. Refused. Certified mail, Neeraj. Refused. They don't own. You don't own shit, Neeraj Shah. You got that? You pretend landowner in your fantasy land? Neeraj Shah returned to sender. So, I moved here with beautiful, perfect glory. I take my wonderful little guy I adopted from Lollipop Farm, Humane Society, along that land to get to the land next to my house where he goes. Everything's normal. And one day, I'm standing there, I'm waiting for my wonderful little guy to go, and the back window flies open from the Shaw law firm. And this overweight woman is screaming at me, and I'm thinking, why is she totally losing it? And she's going berserk, screaming at me. I don't know why. So I take my wonderful little guy in, and I walk over there. And I walk in, and there's this deuce and a half sitting down there, and she's looking at me like I'm the Grim Reaper when I walk in. And I say, what's the problem? Why are you screaming? And she refuses to talk to me. I leave. What I don't know is she already called the sheriff's office, and they're on my way to my house with animal control. They don't come over here to say we own that land. They don't come over here to have a conversation and talk in a civil, decent way. They're using you to get to me. This is what these people are doing, and you're allowing them to do it. You're embracing this fanaticism, this extremism. And I even knock them right to a pounding, I should say, because they don't knock, they pound. And I open the door, and there are two of your whack jobs, and the animal control guy standing there with a pole in his hand with a noose on. He's going to wrap that noose around my wonderful little guy's neck, and there's this vicious confrontation. Again, my neighbor's witnesses. You're not doing any of this to me in isolation. And I said, you have to kill me to take my wonderful little guy. And you leave. This is what you're doing. One phone call, and you come here to take my dog? When I adopted him from Lollipop Farm, when I went with beautiful, perfect Laura, you don't just walk in the door at Lollipop, because we wanted a dog nobody wanted. That's what we decided. To go in there and look at the dog, you only can take one. We wish we could take them all, but you can only take one. And they interview us. And it's a thorough interview. And I had no arrest, no criminal history, no assault on my life, no abridgment of civil and constitutional rights. So Laura and I are approved, and we walked to the cages, and we stopped. And there he is. He's staring up. Please stop me, Chris. I'll be your best friend forever. And Laura says to me, he's looking right at you. And we went in the back to the gymnasium. They brought him out. He ran over to me. He was so friendly. He came right up to me. He was wagging his tail. He was so happy. Oh, I love you forever, Chris. And we took him home, and he's been with me ever since. There's not a dog owner on planet Earth that surrenders a dog to the police because the police want it. What universe do you live in, Sheriff Baxter? What alternate reality do you occupy? I mean, you are a sick, disgusting, perverted, pathetic excuse for a human being. And I want to know how much you paid to be a sick, perverted, pathetic excuse for a human being. And you're going to hear from me relentlessly. Every single day, I'm going to be mailing and emailing you a FOIL. And the key document I want is your public employee payroll. And you will refuse every time to send me your public employee payroll. That is because you understand that if the people of Monroe County find out the salaries for every public employee at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, you, Todd K. Baxter, never win re-election.